Hey guys, it's Yoda here, and today we're diving into Magic the Gathering for beginners. Whether you just installed MTGA or you're holding a deck of cards for the first time, this guide's going to walk you through the basics. So whether you're trying to decide what hand to keep, what creature to destroy, or just how to win big. So I've been playing Magic off and on for years. I picked it back up recently and I remember exactly what it feels like to be brand new again. So today I'm going to break everything down into real easy to follow steps, from how cards work, to what formats to play, to simple strategies that actually help you win games. This isn't just about rules. It's about playing smart, making the right decisions, and avoiding early mistakes most new players make. So if you're ready to level up fast and start winning more games, let's get right into it. Alright, so what exactly is Magic the Gathering? At its core, it's a strategy game where you and your opponent take on the role of powerful wizards, called Planeswalkers, using decks of spells, creatures, and magical artifacts to try and win through various methods, whether it be dropping your opponent's health to 0 from 20, giving them 10 poison counters, or maybe you mill them out. So you'll start by building your own deck, or using a starter in MTG Arena. 60 cards for beginners, usually you'll never go over that, and you battle out using one or more of the many colors. White focuses on life gain, small armies, and protection. Blue is about control, counters, and trick plays. Black is all about power for price, life drain, kill spells, and then graveyard stuff. Red is all about burn spells, fast creatures, and aggressive damage. Green is all about big creatures, ramping mana, or trampling over your opponent's creatures. If that sounds like a lot, don't worry, you'll pick it up fast. Magic is deep, yes, but you don't need to know everything to start winning games. We're going to walk through it step by step. Standard. A rotating format using only the most recently released sets. The most competitive, the most played format of all of the formats in MTG. Alchemy, a standard-based format with a twist. It includes digitally rebalanced cards and digital-only mechanics that don't exist in paper Magic. It uses standard legal sets, plus alchemy-specific cards, which are created to expand or tweak the meta. Pioneer. Pioneer was introduced in October of 2019 to fill the gap between Standard and Modern. Modern's card pool is massive, 16,000 plus cards. Pioneer trims that down to about 9,200 legal cards, so it's more approachable and less overwhelming. And lastly, Historic, or Modern. Every card ever made can be played in this format. There are some bans, so you will have to look that up, but other than that, everything else goes. I would go over how many are banned, but the topic is ever changing and always cards are being brought in and taken out, so it's a very complicated ban process. Next up is mana cost. We're going to go over a few of these cards I've got out here so you understand better of how to play them and what their mana cost is. So we've got an Ajani's Pridemate here. He is a 1 colorless, 1 white pip. So you need at least 1 white pip, which could be found in a basic land, or a dual land, and then the colorless can be of any color that you need it to be. As you see here, with the Dragonstorm, I have 1 island and 1 black mana, but because that's colorless, it can be of any color. There are lands like this that have a colorless pip you can use. This one also offers to use a black mana for a creature spell, so some lands like this can be very beneficial. Next, we're going to talk about text box. Read everything that's in a card. Read every card like it's the first time. Misreading is the #1 early mistake. So make sure you don't swing with your best creature when the opponent has a creature who has first strike and death touch on their turn. And I'm not sure if this needs to be said, but it is a beginner guide. So the number on the left, the 2, is the power, and the number on the right, the 1, is the toughness. So we're going to slow down some gameplay here so you can see the phases. So the first phase, you'll untap your cards, draw 1. Then, you'll play a card. Then, you'll go to the attack phase. And lastly, second main phase, and then opponent's turn. Next, I want to talk about attacking and blocking. My opponent's creature has Death Touch, so my 2/3 definitely can't get through it. So my only option was to take down the creature, so my creature is able to get in and swing for 2. Next, we're going to talk about blocking. They're swinging with a 4/4, but I know my 2/2 with Death Touch will take their creature out. In short, attacking and blocking is all situational. Make sure you do the math, make sure you're reading all the cards present, and you know exactly how things are going to play out so that you can benefit the best. Next, we're going to talk about deck building. I suggest going monocolored first. It's just easier with the mana and it's less of a headache. So the standard that it would suggest would say keep 20 to 24 creatures or 8 to 16 spells. But as you can see here, I don't do that. So I kind of play it by ear based on the deck, and I suggest you do the same. But I do recommend trying to stay within certain things. I wouldn't go over 60 cards, 20 to 24 lands, depending on how heavy creature or how heavy mana your deck is. And then 20 to 24 creatures is probably good, and 8 to 16 spells is also good. I would suggest that you keep at least 2 to 4 win cons / like big effect cards that could really change the pace of the game, though. Every card should serve a purpose in your deck. It should make sense. This is a life gain equipment deck. I'm not going to add things that are going to mana ramp because all my creatures and equipments don't cost that much. So try to make your decks make sense for what you're doing. Try not to go too far off the beaten path that you've already set in place. Stick to your guns and keep cards that are going to make sense in your deck. Some top budget archetypes for beginners. Green Stompy. It has big creatures early, and you don't have to do that much thinking. You kind of just throw creatures down, ramp into bigger creatures, and just win. Another top budget is Mono Red. It's cheap, fast, and punishes slow decks severely. And last, and certainly not least, is Mono White. It's resilient and has some solid win cons. The next thing we're going to talk about is common mistakes. These mistakes can help avoid frustrating games and losses for no reason. Keeping bad hands. If it has 1 land, mulligan it. Or if it has 5 lands, mulligan it. Getting 6 or 5 cards is not the end of the game. But getting mana flooded or not having any mana at all can be. Try to improve a curve in your deck. Don't try to have a bunch of 2 drops and then jump to 5 drops. Try to have 3s and 4s so your deck complements itself. Or if your creatures are all low, that's fine too. And maybe if you're a reanimator deck, you can have some big creatures that don't really make sense because you can just bring them out of the graveyard. Don't overvalue things like life gain or mill without any actual win cons. If you can mill and keep the board clear, that's good. But just milling on its own is not good enough. The next thing I want to talk about is misplaying instant and sorcery speed spells, which new players struggle with this a lot, but also some veterans tend to accidentally do this on the wrong time too. For an example, if you're a deck that plays sweepers, you never want to play your creature and then the sweeper. You would always want to play the sweeper, then your creature, leaving you with the only creature on the board. Attacking too early. Sometimes you don't want to attack too early and leave yourself defenseless without any blockers because your opponent could come out of nowhere with a ton of damage. And one tip, every loss is a lesson. Try to figure out what went wrong, not just what beat you. This next part is for Arena. So there's a couple things you can do to improve your collection is making sure you're doing the daily quest to earn gold. Also use your wild cards wisely. Prioritize commons and uncommons for consistency. Save your gems for packs and use them strategically when you need them. Tip: craft 4 of a few key uncommons, like a Braid or Duress. They'll fit in many decks. Some of my personal tips or tricks, whatever you would like to call it, is I like to bluff a lot. So say I am about to attack and I draw a land and it's the only card I have in my hand. I'm not going to play that land. I'm going to fake having something in my hand and maybe attack with a creature that won't always get through. Sometimes you will get through, and it can actually change the pace of the game. Something else I like to do is if I know I have a win con or a massive board shift about to happen, sometimes I'll make a bad play to make the opponent think that they are even in a better situation than they really think they are. So maybe they'll make a mistake on their own, and then when I do have my turn and I have that game altering, they're even in a worse position than they really would have been. The last thing I want to say is never stop learning. Magic is ever evolving. So whether you're looking at Moxfield or TCG Player to look at cards or decks, or you're just watching your favorite content creators play Magic, or for the next one, sorry introverts, going to your local Magic store or game store, don't sleep on in-person experience, and ask questions. Even if they feel dumb, every pro was once a noob. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped. If you have anything to add, or if you have any questions, I love getting comments. If anything in this video helped you at all, please give me a like, a subscribe. Everything is appreciated. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.